4 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Could I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion for the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any public comment? No public comment. Okay, I'll move on to Auditor Wagner is going to do a budget presentation. That's good.
I wanted to start by taking JD's line and saying it's a great day in Page County today, since I'm here before him. I want to thank the supervisors and all the budget department heads for helping make this budget efficient for Page County this year. Everyone worked hard to find ways to lower their budget. Sheriff's budget was difficult with the new jail, but they did a lot of research with other jails to find comparables to do the best that they could. Just some budget basics. We're going to be talking about levies. A levy is your valuation times your rate. The levy is what is set by the local government. So the city, the schools, the townships, the assessor, the EMA, E911, the Ag Extension and Iowa Western College have levies along with the county. The valuation is the tax base that is set by the assessor and the Department of Revenue. And then the rate is the amount that the taxpayers are going to owe. And as you can see, the valuations 2024 and 2025, you can see the difference that they have increased. And then we use the 25 valuations for the 27 budget. And then the next thing we do is add the rollbacks. So they're set by the Department of Revenue and they're about the same every year. So that is where we're at this year. And then, so the levying funds for the Code of Iowa, Page County has the general basic, the general supplemental, the debt services, and the rural basic. And I guess, let me go to this one, kind of tells you the 5-year comparison of what we have used. And with the assessments being higher, Page County actually had a 2% limitation because of the taxable growth. The general basic taxable growth grew 5.12% and the rural basic grew 4%. So that is why you see, like in the 26 budget is at 3.5 for the general basic, and then the 27 had the 2% limitation. So it went down to the 3.43137. And then the general sup, the debt services, and then those three make the urban taxpayer levy. And then if you add the rural basic in, that is what makes the rural levy. And this is just a little snapshot of the revenues that we expect for 2027. And then if you're more of a visual person, here's a pie chart of it. And you can see that like property tax is 47% of what Page County brings in. And then the 53% is from other sources. So it's kind of interesting when you start looking at where all of the money actually comes from. And then this is going to be our expenditures for 27 by service area. And again, here's the pie chart. You can kind of see the high ones are like the roads being the 32% and public safety being 23%. The jail is in there for this year because we have some of that still that we'll be paying on. And this is just a breakdown of the expenditures by department. And this number also includes, these are the ones that we pay, but maybe not levy for. We don't levy for, the assessor has his own levy, EMA, E911. So, but we still pay for it. We get the levy money in. So a little breakdown there. And then a slide you probably can't see because I can't see it either, but the 3-year comparison. If anybody wants that, you can ask me for it. I can get it for you. Just some highlights that are going to be happening in 27. We are going to have the sheriff's office will be moving to the new jail, and along with dispatch. And dispatch currently rents a space from the city, so we'll have that expense that we won't have to pay anymore. And then the roof and the clock tower replacement is going to be happening. And again, that one was paid by insurance, so it's not part of a levy, but it's a big thing that's going to be happening here. And then, of course, we're redistricting, and we'll have the transition from the 3 to 5 supervisors. So again, don't forget to vote June 2nd. We'll have 5 supervisors that we'll be voting for because we're in an at-large county. So that's all I got.
Thank you very much. Very good. Okay, the next thing I would like to open the public hearing for our budget.
Make a motion that we open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And we have a presentation with the public hearing. And as she's reviewed with the levies, the urban area is going to be 7.34 cents and the rural area is 10.23. So, are there any comments on this?
I guess first of all, thanks for all the work that's done during budget time, because I know that does take a lot of hours to do. So I do appreciate that. And I wasn't able to come to all the budget all the budget meetings this year. But while I was here, I did not hear that much talk about looking for efficiencies, maybe cutting costs, but not necessarily drilling down into how some efficiencies were going to be found. And I guess I think that should be a year-round thing, and we should be able to hear about it here in open meeting about how you're looking at every department and maybe some sharing between departments and how we can share some services and what we as a county could do to try to keep more tax money in the taxpayers' pockets, where our families can have more money to thrive. We know inflation is bad, and we have a lot of people in the county that live paycheck to paycheck. And maybe some of us don't, but there are a lot of people that do. So that's just my comment on the budget. And every year, the budget goes up, and I understand that. It has nothing to do with valuations or the levy rate. It's all about the dollars requested. So every year we have to keep requesting more and more dollars. That's one more dollar out of the taxpayers' pockets. One thing I will mention, that last Tuesday night at the forum, all 3 of you spoke about the possible property tax reform. And I just want to say I took it as negative, that you were worried that you weren't going to have as much money. And I wish that it could have been portrayed as this is a time that nobody's going to take any money away. It's just that the growth can't be as big each year as maybe what has happened in the past. And it's just going to give a new opportunity to look for ways to do things different, think outside of the box, talk to other people, talk, look for brainstorming ideas of how we can do things more efficiently instead of doing things the way they've always been done. And I think that can always happen when we all get together and put our heads together. So that would be all I would say about the budget is that I'm honestly happy the legislature's looking at some property tax reform because it's obviously, and I worked in a organization that got property tax, but it is a big burden, and especially on people that have had their homes paid for years and years and years, and they have to keep paying towards just being able to have that house or their farm on that land, and they've already paid for it. And it's just getting very, very hard for them to do it. So but again, I'm thankful for all the work that's done, but I hope you guys will still continue to look for ways that we can become more efficient and work together to try to keep the money in our taxpayers' pockets. Thank you.
I just wanted to say one
And I-
thing to that. In the beginning, in the budgets, Todd, Supervisor Mayor, asked everybody to kind of try to reduce their budget, and they really tried to reduce, and most people reduced by 3 to 5%. They cut. We did try to find ways to save money. I mean, we did combine some things in the courthouse. No, that's fine. Some of the things that went up would be insurance, and that is just things that we cannot change. So, but I totally get.
I
And
should
this
have
isn't a
mentioned that.
debate.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
I
should
totally get where you're coming from. I just
Yeah.
wanted to, I forgot I was gonna mention
Can I
that
say
in the
something?
presentation,
Yeah.
but the departments did a very good job. It's very hard with the jail because we just don't know what the costs are gonna be yet. I mean, they have done a very good job of trying to compare to other jails. So.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, and I would just say, I'm sorry that it came across the way that it sounded like we were more worried about how much money we were gonna receive versus, I think where we were coming from is we have a lot of unfunded mandates and we have a lot of services that we have to provide as a county. And when those revenues or the property tax would get messed with or changed, it does affect what we can offer as a county. And not knowing what the state's gonna do has kind of have us in limbo a little bit of, well, how do we budget? How do we plan on, are they gonna change it to where, yep, we're gonna receive way less money. So now they still have the unfunded mandates and the things that we are supposed to give to, or provide for the citizens of the county. So then how do we do that on a more restricted revenue, I guess, or restricted funds to do that? And it wasn't so much that, I think not so much about, we were worried about, well, how can we spend more money if we're not going to get it? It's how do we continue with the services that we have and still provide those adequately across the county without the impact. And, like I said, we've tried to look at all of the spending and really challenge all of the department heads. And like I said, that night, last Tuesday, is like, we've got still tougher times ahead. And depending on what the state does is going to dictate whether we, do we look at sharing across more entities, more departments? Because I think that's probably the reality is we're going to have to get creative as these smaller counties and they have less revenue to do some of the things that we are required to do. We're going to have to get creative about how we're going to do that because the money's just not going to be there. And so I think that's more, I mean, I won't speak for Brian and Judy, but from my standpoint, that's my concern of when they are changing property. I agree, property tax needs to come down. I mean, we all three pay it. I mean, everybody's in the same boat. So, but it's what do you do with the unfunded mandates and stuff that you still have to continue to do because those aren't going away and they're getting added to, seems like yearly. There's always something that comes down the pike that they say the county has to do. So, yeah. So I think sorry it came across the other way, but that was more of what we were trying to, or I was trying to say anyway.
Well, one thing I wanted to add was, one of the biggest expenses we have, two of them, roads and public safety. So how do we cut that? Because everybody wants their road better, everybody wants it gravelled, everybody wants it paved, so it's definitely been a discussion that they have all been trying to figure out how to cut expenses.
Okay, my comment is, I agree with Todd and Kristen. The Senate and the House have been working on property tax relief for several years. It's very difficult because most of them don't understand how, I shouldn't say this, they don't understand how property taxes work. They're not in the counties and they don't understand all the services that are unfunded, that we have to provide and we get no money back for. I just want to, one thing that I want to say is that our deputies are out on the road and they're giving tickets or speeding or whatever. Those tickets go into the clerk's office. It used to be that we got 25 cents back for those. Could be $100, $200, $300 ticket. We get 25 cents back. Now we don't get anything. There are deputies, they're paid by the counties, but we get none of the money from being out there on the road and issuing those tickets. So that's just one thing. It's a little scary when you have people sitting in Des Moines who are dealing with the things that we deal with here. And as I said the other night at the forum, one of my questions to somebody is when you tell me that we need to cut services, tell me what services we need to cut. Do you want law enforcement cut? Do you want your courthouse closed and have to go to Council Bluffs to get your fishing and hunting licenses, your car licenses, your driver's licenses? Do you want to drive up there? Because if they start consolidating counties and closing courthouses, that's what we'll be doing. So yes, we can come up with a lot of ideas, but again, we're hampered by what we have to work with. So that's just a big thing that we have. So anyway, we can leave it there, but there are a lot of things to think about. But I was very proud of our department heads this year who worked together, who cut their budgets. And I can tell you from years past, those budgets were already cut to bare bones. So it's not that any budgets are padded. They are not. I can tell you that. Having been the auditor, I can tell you, I watched that like a hawk. So, and I think Kristen's going to be doing the same thing. But we want to be creative. We want to do things that are good for our citizens. I have one of those houses that's paid for. I don't expect to sit back on my laurels and not pay any property taxes. I don't think that's a thing to do. I am privileged to live in a free country, and I think that I have to pay something to keep things going. So anyway, let's just move forward and we'll see where we go with this. Okay, do I hear a motion? If there's no other comments, do I hear a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I need to have a motion to approve our 26-27 budget as presented.
Make a motion, we approve the budget as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
We need to list off the resolutions or no? Just the,
No, let's just, we'll do those.
Okay.
Separate.
okay.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to approve the 26-27 Page County budget. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And that would Then we're going to move on to, we have three, let's see. Okay, the adoption of the budget, we'll just take that as budget 18. That's the adoption and budget and certification of taxes. Let's, I'll mention here, our next resolution is, the salaries as proposed for our elected officials. The current supervisors will be getting $33,141 from July through December. And then the new supervisors beginning January 1 of next year will receive $30,000. So that's just one thing. And then we've got resolution number 17, the resolution for appropriations, which allows all of these departments to have their budgets appropriated. So let's go ahead and do 16 and 17 together. We can have a motion for that.
Make a motion that we approve budget resolution 16-2026 and 17-2026.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And I guess I should have done the resolution number 18, which is actually the adoption of the budget and the certification of taxes. So we'll backpedal on that, and that's resolution number 18. If I could have a motion for that one.
Make a motion that we approve budget resolution number 18-2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, we'll get all of these signed. It's been a long time coming. I mean, we worked really hard on this the last few months. So. You can put them all. Thank you. Okay. All right, our next item up is JD King engineer update.
Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day in Page County. Don't take away my stuff. The engineer update went out yesterday around noon with a whole bunch of extra stuff besides the update. Our operations are weather dependent. Rain over the weekend precluded us from any blading or rock hauling yesterday. We burnt things, brush piles. We have lots of brush piles out there from the previous several years of tree cutting without suitable conditions to burn. So we take advantage when we can. If it doesn't rain and it's drizzling out there a little bit right now, we'll go back to normal operations. We were doing normal operations today. Blades were out. They were hauling rock. This is not on the update, but today we started some grinding of D Avenue where the potholes are worst. That was a seal coat road that was chipped, last worked on in 2022. And it does not have a cement treated base underneath it. And it behaved like all seal coats do without good bases underneath. It failed. However, we do have a project in the program in a couple of years to remedy that. We'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
The excavator crew is doing some ditching. They've done some ditching down on J53. We've got some work to do on D Avenue. I think that's complete. And then our last bit of ditching that I'm aware of is on P Avenue, just west of town here. One of our truck tractors has a shifting problem. The RDO technician was down to look at it, and it has been evacuated to Omaha to the dealer there. And there's, I think it's an it's an air pressure problem, and that affects a bunch of other things controlled by air. Our motor grader number 2 is doing a service when we get the proper oil in. We're using a new oil. Project development continues in the engineer's office. Also, the farm to market rock haul was started and completed, and we're doing final paperwork on that now. I do have some training scheduled on the 30th for excavation safety training. We've had some people move around that are running the hoe, and excavation safety is always very important. People get killed in trenches too often. Any questions for the engineer's update?
I don't.
Okay, if you turn your attention to the next item, it's a contract for the base stabilization and seal coat work on J53 east of Shambach to the Page Taylor line. There was 4 bidders. It was last Tuesday. The DOT worked expeditiously and loaded up the contract on Thursday, so we were able to schedule the contract award today. JB Holland from Decorah was low bid with $1,612,189.23 for whatever the contract says. We have had JB Holland in before on the J Road in 2023. That was $243,000 a mile. This project is $246,000 a mile. And I'd recommend you award a contract to JB Holland.
Do I hear a motion to approve the contract with JB Holland Construction Company in Decorah for $1,612,189.23?
Make a motion, we set the bid.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is a delegation of digital signing authority resolution 19-2026. It authorizes as the board authorize the engineer to sign this specific contract only electronically. We've done this routinely.
Right. This is resolution number 2026 to approve the engineer to sign this contract.
Make a motion, we approve resolution 19-2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
He's passing that around for signature.
Mhm. Next item is the secondary road budget, the DOT.
The DOT budget. The DOT budget is can be a standalone thing. They've done some law changes at the state level that have messed with the schedule of approval requirements. So it's, if I talk about, if this budget is approved next week, it's outside the proper windows of approval. So it needs to be done today. These are the same numbers as in the county budget. 12 main categories are the 12 main categories. In both forms, both the auditor's form and the DOT form, the numbers are the same. The details are different. They're arranged different. But this is for the DOT budget. Once again, the numbers are the same as the county budget that was approved.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the FY 27 DOT budget for secondary roads?
Make a motion that we approve the secondary roads budget for fiscal year 2027.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
We'll be handling the fiscal year 27 DOT program, which is a big contract and big construction projects next week. That's the map that was handed out at the beginning or before the meeting.
For next week.
And that's for the 5-year plan?
That's the 5-year plan.
5-year plan, okay.
Okay,
The final thing for today is a petition to rock a quarter-mile of road on 200th Street east of O Avenue, just northwest of town. There's an individual purchased some ground and intends to put a house on it. There's currently a level B road. I do want to share that several years back, probably 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, there was a large pipe at the east end of 200th Street near Quince. And we ended up, the road was closed for months because it was a large pipe that was washed out. And we had gravelled this piece of dirt road for convenience to allow the person to get out. Because a runaround, this was a 10-foot diameter pipe, and to get a runaround into a field would have been problematic. So it was more efficient just to rock that little piece of dirt, even though it was dirt. So the road is not in bad shape as it is now. It's a quarter mile.
do I hear a motion to accept the rock petition, which would be a cost of $12,000 total, $6,000 the landowner's share?
So the work needed to prepare this stretch of road is minimal. Blade can do it with it, shape it up in just a bit.
And did you say there's a residence that's,
Gonna build one later.
there's gonna be, okay, they're gonna build,
There's nothing there at this time.
No,
okay.
in the future.
I'll make a motion that we approve the rock petition for 200th Street.
There's a map
Oh,
on the last page.
Right off the
Two
Stanton
pages of the
Road.
rock petition.
pardon me.
It's right off the Stanton Road.
Oh, yeah,
100th
okay.
Street. Yeah. From 63. Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Good. It's that. The only one. The only one you get back is the DOT budget, right?
The resolution with a digital sign.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. Thank you, JD. Okay. Solution. Okay. Okay. All right. Our next item up is to discuss discuss action, purchase of the courthouse lawnmower. Troy, no,
Did you all get all the information you needed?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you have a recommendation?
I would recommend the Hustler mower.
Okay,
Look, it had the most comfortable ride and it was easily serviceable. And, you know, I like that about it. Easy maintenance makes the machine last a lot longer. If there's things that maybe you can't get to or they're tough to get to, it makes the job harder. You know, I noticed that on I think all the other two machines, John Deere didn't have anything on the lots. So I couldn't see it.
so you went back and looked at more and got them more comparable, right?
Yeah.
And the Hustler is, the recommendation is the bid is $7,399,
Yep.
4-year warranty,
Yeah, it had the better warranty on it too.
okay? The Kubota is $9,500, the Gravely $7,645, and John Deere is $10,400. So the Hustler is the low bid.
Yep, and then these were all commercial again, right? So, yeah, so which I think is a lot better. Yep. I'd make a motion that we purchase the Hustler for $7,399.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, next up is to discuss action Sweet Life painting at the VA office. Hi. And your name?
You want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Zach?
State.
Zach Oliphant.
Okay.
Streetlight Painting.
Okay, okay. And you brought us a contract,
Yeah.
an estimate, and this is the contract
Yeah.
for $4,270.
Yes.
Okay,
Do you know when you might start on that, or how's your work schedule?
So we have, when the weather cooperates with us a little bit
Sure.
more, when we
Yep.
actually can get outside, we probably have 4 outsides to do before we can get there. So,
Okay.
I mean, we're looking to start maybe middle of May, I hope, for our outside season, and then probably 3 weeks out from that.
Okay.
It's my hope.
So maybe sometime in June?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, and did you bring
Got any samples?
sample?
So-
Sorry,
I
Or
don't know like exactly what color you guys are looking at.
we don't know either.
we don't either, yeah.
I have this that you guys can keep for a while.
Oh, okay, and then let you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a color book.
Okay, sounds great. So any of these?
Yeah,
Okay,
we use Sherwin, so,
okay, so
Yeah.
we'll ask, maybe ask the VA and
yeah.
a couple other people and see. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so, I guess I need a motion to approve the, signing the contract because we approved last week.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. We approve the contract for $4,270 with Sweet Life Painting LLC for the Veterans Building.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Zach, are you authorized that you could sign this also?
Yes.
Okay. We'll both sign it and then we'll have that. Do you need a copy of that?
If you could.
Okay. If you take it over to Kristen, she can do the sign. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah,
too.
thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Okay. Our next item is the use of the courthouse grounds for the Glenn Miller Festival on June the 11th. That is, the time of the activity is 4 to 9 p.m. It's a kickoff picnic. Oh, and the big band concert, which is usually over here on the southwest corner.
Make a motion we approve the Glenn Miller Festival of June 11th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That Kristen's pile.
I was just gonna comment that it looks like the clock tower will be coming down around June or July 8th. So
July 8th, okay.
we've been in contact with him about dates.
We were trying to get it,
People are wanting to get along.
yeah, we wanted to make sure it wasn't at the same time as the Glenn Miller Festival, so.
You said July 8th?
Mhm.
Okay.
And it'll be a process. So, okay, our next item is board communication. Kristen and I attended a Wabansie financial workshop this afternoon. She's a new member on the board. Worked yesterday and got the ARPA report for this year finalized. We had to have everything basically certified by December of 2024, December 31st. So that was done. And the only thing that we're missing for the report is that we paid for the tuck pointing for the annex in April. And the end of the report was March 31st. So we'll have to file another report next year, but that will clear out everything for the ARPA report and we'll be done.
Yeah.
So. I turned that over to Kristen basically because from the time it started, it was a supervisor position that signed on for that, which I really didn't understand, but anyway, it is now in the hands of the auditor, so. And I do have an interagency meeting next week. Anybody else?
I was gonna have the EMA and
Oh, yeah.
E911, which you're gonna attend for me.
I will tomorrow night.
I will be out of town.
Okay. I will do that. Okay. And anything, Brian? Nope. Okay. Okay. Discuss action meeting minutes from April 20. First.
Did you want to mention the flag ceremony?
Oh, the flag ceremony. Yes, we have a flag ceremony, a 250th anniversary of our nation. And we're having a flag presented to us Friday morning at 10 o'clock here at the courthouse. So I would assume anyone is welcome. Thank you, Todd. I forgot about that. Okay. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Yep. Got it. Kristen, anything else? Okay, now we have the meeting minutes from April 21st.
Make the motion we approve the minutes as stated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next item up is for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4:44.